in here. Hang on. Yeah, we're ready. What? Oh, man. I just hate this. Miles from nowhere. You don't even have a cell signal. And you got yourself a flat tire or a low tire. I don't know, maybe the valve's not seated right. Maybe we got a slow leak, picked up a nail or something. I don't know. But for whatever reason, I need to get on the road, and I'm not going to do it with this tire. So let me show you how I solve this kind of problems no matter where I go. Well, to solve that problem, I have one of these. Husky toolkit. Yes, this is actually going to be a review of the Viair 88P portable air compressor. I can get a hold of it in here. There it is. It fits in there kind of thick, or kind of stiff, tight, I guess. This is the Viair 88P portable air compressor. Nice little unit, great running little unit, and it will do the job for just about anybody out there. If you get anything out of this video, you will get one piece of information. If you are looking for a portable air compressor, never get one that plugs into your cigarette lighter. Ever. Never get one. Because you're limited to the amount of power in that cigarette lighter to probably 10 amps. And you probably will be able to fill your tire, but you're going to fall asleep while it does so. Always get one that clips right onto your battery. This has a 10-foot power cord. And if I can locate it here, right here, and in the power cord is its own 20 amp fuse. The hose itself, which unfortunately both the hose and the cord are not detachable, the hose is 16 foot. I think I got that right. Let me check my notes. Yes, the air hose is 16 foot. So you can go 25 feet from your battery to reach a tire. So if you've got a small car and a small trailer, you probably won't even have to unhitch to get to that trailer tire. Now, this has a built-in pressure gauge. There's an on-off switch here on the back end, as well as a little LED light, which may come in handy. Hopefully you've got a better light than that, but you know, any port in a storm type of thing, that will work. I'll throw some of the specs out here. This will do up to 33-inch tires, according to the manufacturer, up to 120 PSI, 1.47 cubic feet per minute. Don't mind me, I'm reading off my notes. I can't remember all this. It will not work with press-to bicycle valves. So if you're into cycling, remember that this isn't going to pump up your bike or trike or quad, you know whatever bicycle you have or tricycle you have. It's not going to work with press-to valves. It does come with a 3-piece inflation kit, which, you know, whoop-de-doo, but I mean, it's there. It comes with these two little plastic adapters, and they're hard to get a hold of. Plus it comes with the traditional ball, you know, for footballs and basketball and things like that. That's all it comes with. That's all you get. It does not come with the bag. I went to Home Depot and bought this, and it was only like $9, and I built a kit. I just don't buy this and call it a day. I bought this little container, and I have an air pressure gauge in there, and a stem tool, and I put my adapters in there, as well as more stems. This is actually stems and another stem tool in here. And I also got a repair kit if I ever need to fix a small puncture. I haven't used it yet, knock on wood, and those are a couple things that I keep in there. Price on these is, I'm seeing them online right now for about $50, $60. I bought 2 of them because I have one for my truck and one for my work van. Price on them is about $50 to $60 online. I'm not sure if there even is a retail price. I haven't looked one up. The performance data I'm not going to put up here because most of it's just meaningless for most people. They just want something that's going to pump their tire up. I'll put a link to the manufacturer's website down below, and you can look those specs up for yourself. As I said, the bag is not included. I went to Home Depot and bought this one. I think it's the smallest little tool bag that they have. It's like $8 or $9. And by the time I built all this kit, I'm still $70, $75. So it's a very valuable kit to have in your vehicle. This isn't going to do you any good in your garage. You probably have a compressor in your garage already, And of course, this isn't going to compete with that 60-gallon upright that you've got sitting in your garage right now. But for a roadside emergency, this is more than enough. I went with the 88P because it goes up to 120 PSI. Both my pickup and my work van only go to 35 PSI on the tires, and the 87P could have done that job, and it's basically the same thing, just only goes to 60 PSI. But I decided to spend a few extra bucks, and I don't know what the dollar per difference is, but I went with the 88P simply because it goes to 120 for two reasons. First off, my trailer tires take 90 PSI. Second off, you may run across somebody who needs a little bit more than 60 PSI. You see somebody on the side of the road, you want to stop and help. It would be nice to be able to get their tires up for them. So let's go back and we'll show you how this works. One thing I will tell you is this doesn't have a chuck on the end of this. This is actually a swivel fitting that has the Schneider threads on it. I think it's Schneider, I think that's the word. And it will just screw right onto your valve, and then you can just let it run. Now, a couple things to be aware of is while this is running, your pressure gauge will run a little bit high. So if you're trying to get to 30 PSI for your tire, you may have to let it go up to 32, 33, 35 on this gauge, and then shut it off, and it'll come down a little bit. And that's why I have a regular pressure gauge to double check that. But this is pretty accurate. So just keep in mind that while this is running, the pressure is going to show a little bit higher than what it is. So let's take this back to that flat and we'll take a look at how this actually hooks up. Alrighty. As I said, this has a 10-foot power cord and a 16-foot pneumatic hose. One thing that's very important is you don't do this with your engine off. You always want to start your engine and then start using this. So let's go ahead and get everything unrolled. And I'm going to reiterate that this has a nice little clip-on valve, or not a clip-on, but a spin-on connector. So it's not like an air chuck that you have on your, once you attach it, it's there. I mean, you're done. So let's go ahead and get this plugged in and turned on. All right, so we got her going. Now, this is my back right tire, and my battery is in the front left, and you can see that I'm reaching it. It's running. I've got a timer going. Let's see how long it takes to get this tire back up into roadworthy condition. And again, I've got the timer going so you can see how we're doing there. I'm going to edit some of this out so it's not so boring. And I dropped down to about 34. So let's take it up to 40. That was about 38 PSI. Let that pressure gauge get up to 40. And there's 40. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, we're a little high, 38 thick, so I'm going to call that good. Now, I will warn you about one thing on this is after you use it, this head is very, very hot. I mean, I can touch it, but not very long. That's about as long as I can stand touching it. So after you do use it for any length of time, don't just go ahead and stuff it into the bag, because you may end up melting some of these parts or melting the bag or something else. So let it sit out for a few minutes, let it cool down, throw it in the back of your truck, let it ride back there, whatever you want to do. But just keep in mind that this piston head does get quite warm. Sorry for the engine noise, but I'm just going to let it run. But there you have it. all ready to go. Unless I have a slow leak in here, I'm going to pack everything up, hit the road, stop in a few miles, see how I'm doing, take my pressure gauge out of this kit, check my pressure. Let's see if, I don't see anything. I'm not, if I look this tire over, I don't see anything. Maybe it could be when I last aired it up, the valve didn't seat correctly. So as long as I have that air pump, I'm good to go. So this is Backpack Heck coming at you with this trail tip. Be safe out there, and I'll see you out on the trail.